Head into the darkness, I can see you guiding me. I'll follow in your footsteps, mother, for so long. Head into the darkness, you don't wanna follow me. Say goodbye to everything. Say so long. Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Tiabu and I am here for Made in Abyss, episode 8, and I'm back. I feel like for the last week I've been getting my ass kicked by Ozen, but I'm feeling much better and very, very ready to spend some time alone in the wilderness with our characters. I'm excited by this. It gives us a real opportunity where we're not on the run from anything or doing that sort of tumbling further down faster and faster that has guided so much of our time spent with these characters in their journey so far. Instead, we're going to spend some time in one place, in the wilderness, and I think it's a cool opportunity to experience some more of the vibrant flora and fauna that have decorated this world so far and really immerse in that experience. So I'm expecting the music to be killing it. I'm expecting cool, like glowing things and ethereal caves and forests and scintillating colors and darkness, and maybe some spooky things that come out at night. And maybe some montage, because we're going to be spending a good bit of time here. Maybe some time passing, some figuring out of routines or rituals or roles. And we've got setups for particular challenges insofar as Reg has been warned not to use his super loot duper blaster, because he'll fall asleep and Rico will die. And that's probably bad. So there are some particular obstacles, some interpersonal obstacles, and some overall general challenges, all of which come together to make a pretty cool scenario for our characters to experience and for us to join them. I will say quickly, on the last episode, there was quite a bit of discussion in the comments, and people shook out into a couple of camps. So there's one camp that views Ozen's actions as, like, that's just bad and bad. There's one camp that's like, okay, Ozen's actions are clearly irredeemable, but they make sense given her story position in the story, experience as a multi-hundred-year-old white whistle or whatever the fuck is going on there, and the attitude that she would take toward these young children, biting off far more than they can chew. So it makes sense, but it's still really fucked up. And then there's the camp that's just genuinely defending Ozen, and is just like, nope, these kids are dumb, and if somebody doesn't kick their shit in, then they're just gonna get eaten by the world that's out here, and so good on Ozen for kicking their shit in. And I get it. I see the justification. I see the reasoning for it, but it doesn't sway me. I still think it's pretty wrong, and I think what really helped me get it together, let me find the comments that I can give credit where credit is due. Finally, I was really glad that somebody wrote this or mentioned something about it, because I realized it while I was editing the video. And Zelpad 2379. So Ozen is fucked, but Kishibe is cool. Kishibe is a character from Chainsaw Man, and the circumstances really close to identical. Kishibe is a super powerful dude. He gets told that he's going to be training these couple of fuckers. He beats the shit out of them repeatedly in order to train them. And because of the circumstance of the characters of Chainsaw Man, they're literally kind of immortal, so he can do whatever he wants to them, demolish them as much as he wants, and they'll pop right back. That's somewhat similar to the circumstance that we have with Reg. We've got this very powerful character who's shown these other characters who need to be whipped into shape, and proceeds to beat them close to the point of destruction or death or whatever in order to prove a point. The difference to me is a couplefold. One, Kishibe knows that he can't kill those characters unless he does some special stuff and like actually tries to kill them. So there's really no risk to them. Ozen doesn't. Even if she's convinced that Reg is near immortal and indestructible, she fully doesn't know it, and she comes pretty close. And I get the distinct impression that if he were a little bit less hardy and resilient than he is, she would fully shatter him and just go, well, rip. And that just doesn't seem like the right sort of attitude to me. And that is, I think, the point that distinguishes Kishibe from Ozen there, at least in terms of the way that I would approach it. But it also comes in to the whole attitude and perspective that the show takes on it is totally different in Chainsaw Man versus here. So I still think it's really interesting, and I think that the discussion that's happened in the comments has been pretty cool, so if you'd like to contribute further to that, I'd accept your comments, that would be cool. But I wanted to just mention the way that the discussion sort of shook out from my perspective. I still don't like the way that Ozen acted. I think that if you were to meet somebody in the real world treating someone like that, and to a much lesser extent, obviously not taking people to the point of death, but to the point of challenging people and gatekeeping them and having this, like, I know better than thou attitude. When I see that in the real world, I don't like it. And so I don't like Ozen's representation of it. Although, as I've simmered on it, it's become more appealing to me as a narrative element, as a character trait for her, and as a person you might meet in this story. Once I sort of reframed it as, like, this is a powerful NPC that you might meet in a Dungeons & Dragons game, and they are dangerous, suddenly it seems a little bit more correct to me, and it's not as much locked into that sort of anime fairy tale expectations, and a little bit more, if not palatable, it blends better. It fits better. Ozen has a place here. Yeah, something like that. Okay, well, I'm gonna do a drawing. I like that. At first, I thought that the cape or cloak would be separate, and that would be the only thing that would isolate the body or like, have darkness. But as I did the edges, I realized I wanted them to be rough, and then as I did them again, I realized I wanted them to blend backward into the background. Like, the darkness that is Ozen, or is represented by her, is really a reflection or a focal point or a locus of just the energy of the world. The darkness isn't from her, it's from everywhere, and she's just a center point of it. I also like how, as I've gone and continued, just because of brushing the paper and stuff, she's become a bit fuzzier almost, because that's exactly what's happened over time as pieces sort of blur. You spend long enough steeping in the darkness, and the lines between you and it become significantly less distinct. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Wouldn't want to find that in a dark alley. Let's put it that way. Yow. I like that drawing. I'm quite pleased with that. Let me put it up. Lovely. We've got ourselves a beautiful, spooky Ozen to hover above me and scare the shit out of me. Excellent. We're gonna be spending some time in the wilderness alone with a friend. I expect that this episode will be really enjoyable. I'm looking forward to it being a very good time. So let's go ahead and watch episode 8 of Made in Abyss. I've got it up and ready to go. There'll be 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, beep beep timer to count you down, and early access on the Patreon. Beep beep timer. Yes, ma'am. All right, later. Have fun alone in the woods, kids. Oh, right. We fully are not allowed to use Blastinator. Okay. Oh, no, we are. Okay. So don't use it, but you could if you had to. It's not like a failure condition. But it is probably a Rico getting eaten condition. We need to find some cool relics. We need power-ups. Can we get some power-ups? That was awesome. Alright, so don't use it, but if you gotta use it, fucking use it. Don't be shy. Alright, kids, let's shelter, food, water. Shelter, food, water, fire. OP. Alright, cool. So that was the setup that we had before. Here we are in the woods. Don't go beyond that tree. Don't fuck it up. Don't use the nuke unless you want to die. You're on your own for 10 days. Food, water, shelter. Make a lean-to. Gather branches. Also, find Rico a weapon. Or like a defensive tool. If she could just like go into stasis for a while whenever something dangerous happens and let Reg take care of it. Could work. Maybe some rogue training. Give her the hide ability. Could work. Alright, so let's see how we'll build up this atmosphere. And our feel for this world. See, that's not Liza's pickaxe, right? Maybe we'll find it. Yes! Food, water, shelter. Ooh, glowing things. Run straight toward it. Ow. Ow. I don't know if that's water, bro. Huh? Oh. Okay, that's, those look like those were CGified and placed in, which I think is a good idea. Why do I get the feeling of like Harry Potter with the lake? Nope. Oh my god. Wait, I have that Pokemon. That's an Exploud. Or a Loudanitor, whatever the fuck the big Loudred. Holy shit. Hey Rico. Did you say it would be safe? Shelter? Shelter! Oh my god, water! Shelter! We're building it. That's more than a lean-to. Let's go. Got our flint and steel. Food, water, shelter, fire. We still don't have food, but water, shelter, fire. Oh. Useful. I love how much time we spent quiet there. Uh-oh. That's dangerous. Yeah, you a tasty snack. Yeah. Day 3. Wow, we're just gonna beep, pop, boop to day 3. What? They're opposites. They got it. Ah! I would lose my nerve too, dude. Very human, though. They got it. Yeah. Fuck it. Alright. Day 5. Have we not eaten for days? Are we catching a hit? Okay. Yummy. Oh. Oh, that's what she was tearing off. This will make it super horny for you. Just be careful, buddy. Don't make sure it doesn't get the wrong idea. Ooh, female hippo. Whoop. Ooh. Oh, there's that style. Oh, rad. Blast it! Yoinked. Ooh. Duh. Nice contraption. Yeah, but planning. And being really strong. Bonding. Yeah, that's what this is for, really, right? Flashback? Flashback. Yup. Perfect. Depending on each other. Oh. Oh. Yeah, the box. You corrupted her, and now you impregnated her and made her weak. Imaimashi. Wow, resentment. But then, oh, the unexpected. That is interesting to frame it differently. Ooh, hippo yums! 2 out of 5. Lovely color. right, we got a little thing set. After 10 days, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna get there. I'm pleased. That's great. They return. Lower the gondola. Bring in the weary travelers. Time for a bath. I hope. Nice. Feels like 20 minutes to be. Hell yeah, we are. Oof. Damn. Mm. Hmm. Aww. Farooq is so cute. Nice. Okay. That is weird, huh? No, that's definitely different. What the fuck? That's why I made a face. You are a robot. Oh, okay. Yay! Oh my god. Oh, I don't get that. Okay. You know, it's alright. Ha. Oh. Don't stay there if you don't want to be a murderer. Hmm. That's always fun. That's always fun. Time warbles. Why, which one? Oh, just that. The whole thing. Okay. Fucking outcast weirdo motherfucking assholes. Yeah, I'm getting the picture. You stay in the darkness. Oh. It's gonna get even crazier. Oh. She might have a totally different experience of reality. Very tempting. Ah, nope. All right. Oh, I have a feeling we will. Oh. mm. Mm. I've seen that name. I think we're gonna meet that guy. Oh, I think we're gonna meet that guy. We're setting him up. Oh, they're worse than me. Good, 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 good. That'll be fun. Are you fucking with me? No, they're really mean. Shit. Yeah, me too. Hmm. Hmm. Whoa. What layers of mystery? Nandaru ne. I vibe. Ooh! Oh! Are you gonna gift us a cool relic? Let's fucking go! Clunk. Okay, nope, not as heavy. Yes! Okay. Yeah! +1? What do we got? Does it light on fire? Oh, it is your mom's. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, the sword of your father. Everlasting gunpowder? That's so sick. We get to bring our mom's cool weapon back to her. It's a crazy rifle fucking thing. Let's go. I knew we needed a power up. Now I'm gonna kill you again. Please don't. Oh. Yeah, hit me with the secret, Sozin. Let's go. What you got? No, I want to hear it in length. Sweet. We get a huge lore dump. And we get more of that hinting toward the future. Oh, it does what? That's why and the rock yep. Ring of the Seventh Lair. And so she told us everything. Sick! That seems like a success! That's the kind of intel we needed, man. What a great isolated episode. Ah, it seems like it's in character. Okay. You're gonna take that quality attitude toward her just like Liza, huh? Oh. That's okay, we'll still be friends connected by the abyss forever and stuff. Yes, just like this. There's gotta be so much porn. There's gotta be so much. No! Great way to bring that song back in. Again, it's like we've got these pieces of the tapestry of emotions that Kevin can just pull in and apply again and again, and they get better and better. Wanted more memories back, huh? Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. Just a little weird. Your apprentice, Lida? Hmm. I'm not sure. Yeah, it is him. Keeping her hidden. That famous, huh? Alright, she believes in him. Oh, eyes! We don't normally get to see her eyes. I'm liable to be overprotected, so you'll walk away. That's an interesting choice. All right. But you also just want to go back. Little bit of both. Okay. Done. She didn't quite capture the attitude of that. But she does it anyway. A strong sense of duty. Strong sense of duty indeed. Really powerful to withhold Liza's face for so long. And so we really weave the Ozen arc together. And we finish it there? Seems like it. That was lovely. What a miracle it took for her to be alive in the first place. Oh, up it all falls. I don't know, man. Hell yeah. Let's do whatever that is. Let's do it. Whee! Awesome. What a cool, solid piece. Start to finish. It ends up being 2 episodes back to back that are Ozen, like, solidly Ozen related, but, like, it manages to really move us along even as we stay in one place. Come out of it with our characters with a new tool that's representative, a story that loops and is closed, and a little bit more competence. I'm into it. And next time will be The Great Fault, The Big Hole. Jump! The Great Fault. Nice! This was a nice episode. And in a couple of ways that I didn't expect. I expected the forest and world to be vibrant and full of color and life and interesting things. And it sure was. The pool of water with the little skimmers on it was really cool. The slow emergence of the hippo creature was pretty neat, and the hippo creature itself was pretty fucking cool. And then our setup for actually capturing it and doing all of that was a jam as well, as was the fun, solid, get together the basics for survival stuff, which I always appreciate. I've spent a lot of time out in the woods and camping and backpacking and stuff, so I always like to see that, and it's good that these characters at least have their priorities together, and of course Rico does, but still, it's good to see it. And, you know, well, I guess we're out here in the woods, no time to panic or freak out or scream at stuff. Let's go make a fire, find some shelter, and get water. Let's go. Love to see it. The thing that stands out to me about this episode is the format and sort of flow and pace of it. We've got this particular experience, and they chose to put Scary Ozen and conversations in the previous episode and this one survival test in this episode, and focus in on it, have that be the primary subject matter of the episode, and I think it ends up doing a really great job. We don't even montage through it. It's just skip. I believe we start on day 1, we do day 3, and I think on day 3 we're mostly just looking at them through the eyes of somebody else, so we've got people observing them continuously, which indicates that there's some degree of safety there because they are being watched, even if Ozen herself would irredeemably just dismiss them and be like, well, if they die, then they die, whatever. They are still being watched, but we just do day 3, day 5, and then I think we're on to day 10. It's like, they've got this, and then they've got this. And it's in the little conversation piece that we get with Marulk, and a couple of little moments that we see that this has had a serious impact on the characters and the way that they are approaching their future and their interactions together. And Reg talks about his own loneliness and hopelessness and not knowing what to do. But it's really like we're tying the characters together and creating a space for them to bond, for Riko's intellect and knowledge to come together with Reg's strength and physical prowess, and as well as her courage and perseverance and that drive and spirit to overwhelm his sort of his sort of, it's not quite cowardice, but that he takes a step back instead of stepping forward a little, I think it lays out the landscape of our character relationships really effectively, and then ties them together through these experiences that they have together so that we feel it along with them, and it really feels like we've gone through quite a bit of growth. I think that's pretty clever and pretty well done. All throughout, the music is on point, but there are a couple of times where when we bring back that the high insert song with vocals and use that to accent an emotional moment. Kevin has built out this tapestry of emotional experiences and is able to pull or draw on them to insert into scenes where he wants a particular emotional feeling to happen. And when you've done that really effectively for a show like this and created an effective soundtrack and then applied the soundtrack effectively, and that's the part that I see a lot of shows kind of not get this, but here we get it. When you bring that song back in and it's already familiar to the audience and it's already been applied to these circumstances before, you get to bring the emotional weight as baggage that you've attached to it previously along with and apply that to the new circumstance. So you get a layered effect. You get to double down on a certain emotion. If our characters experience loss and longing, right, at the beginning of the show, and then in episode 3, and then in episode 6, and then in episode 8, and every time the characters experience loss and longing, we hear that same high, like, harmonizing, ethereal choral vocal, then we associate that with loss and longing, and the next time our characters experience loss and longing, and that emotional auditory cue comes in, we feel it twice, 3 times, 5 times as much, because we feel it and we remember feeling it at the same time, and that memory is another feeling. It's an added on layer. So music production's freaking cool, man. It's freaking spicy. It's pretty neat. Overall fun and flow and feel of the environment just whomps me. It just pulls me in for the entire time. I'm just there. And I think a part of that is that we spend so much of the beginning, it's quiet, and then we have this little moment where she talks about the lights, and there's this little scare that's like, okay, we got to be careful for sure, as there are big scary things. But then a lot of this montages through, and there isn't conversation for a little bit, so we get to sink in. We get to sink into the atmosphere. It reminds me a little bit of the way that Mushishi does it, but Mushishi's got its own attitude towards this sort of thing, and this is particular and different and a little bit more snappy, a little bit more concise. It manages to take the time to breathe, but it doesn't feel like a deep sigh. It never feels like we get to really relax and really let our guard down. Our guard is up the whole time. And the pace of the episode moves us through, so we don't get to really sink in. It's not like Avatar, Blue People Avatar, where you get to spend enough time in the wilderness and in the woods where it's just like, and you can sink into that experiential side of things. We don't quite get that. It's very purpose-driven all the way through, and I think that's cool too. Okay. Snap, bang, boom. Wham, bam, bang, stinky, horny animal dung. It looks great as it rampages around. It looks fantastic. I love the light and shadow style on it. And wham! Get that beastie. And they got like 800 pounds of meat. Let's go. Well, they've got some areas where they won't be improving, but they are going to double down and improve significantly on the things that they are good at. And we say this one wistful line, and it triggers us into a flashback depending on one another. And so we get all these pieces of Liza the Annihilator and Ozen depending on each other. And Ozen would never admit it, but she cares immensely. There's even an undertone of something near to... I get the vibe that Ozen is not a romantic person, but as close as she might come to that, her bond with Liza was. And I'm sure that there is plenty of Liza Ozen shipping out there in the world as well. I'm sure of it, because it tracks. This is Torka from my squad. We just got married. Well, it is kind of explicit, isn't it? It is, isn't it? This is Torka from my squad. We just got married. This dorky kid. And that's pretty straightforward, isn't it? I thought it was, even if it's not romantic in any sense, I thought it was you and me annihilating the abyss together forever. And instead you're doing this kids, family, dumb boy sort of thing. I thought we were peas in a pod. Thought we were birds of a feather. Woof. And from that moment, right to this one, I'm not doing well. How frustrating. And we see her disdain and her attitude in it. But the thing that colors it is Torka kicks the bucket, and then the baby comes out stillborn. It's all fucked. He leaves the delivery to me. But this phrasing, you and that wimp came and made Liza goes soft, and now you do this to her. So I think you is talking to Rico, and that wimp Torka, the father, you came and you ruined my Liza the way that she was with me. You ruined her destiny. And then, cruel, you hurt her too, in a way that she might not recover from. Maybe I'll just leave the box and carry the bell. And it's then that we hear the cry. And we cut from that moment to this one. What a burden I took on, she says. Because even with all of that attitude, the truth of Ozen is that she did take on that burden. And she says, I have a strong sense of duty. Don't worry, Rico. Rest assured, child. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like the excitement in Marulk as we return. It feels grand, even as small and cozy as it is. And we get this moment from Reg talking about his fears and his own self-uncertainty. She eats a big-ass fucking steak, tells us some stuff about time warbling that might hint at more potential for Liza to be not just alive, but alive and well. And of course, Rico is very pleased about it, but warns that it gets much weirder as we go. And we get all this cool setup for more white whistles, which is great. It's that same sense of a progressive build up toward the future. And sprinkle back in the mysteries that we've had before with a little bit of a twist to them. That's a relic. There's something else going on here, which we knew or suspected. But now it's good to have some confirmation that those questions are real and valid and valuable and interesting questions. And finally, your mom's sword it's your sword. It's your dad's sword. It's your dad's sword. It's your mom's pickaxe, whatever you want to call it. This fits a vibe. Not only are you carrying the weapon of your parent, and wielding it as you go, as your one, like, this is my primary tool, but you're also on a journey to bring it back to them in some way. And there's this idea there in all of our mythology that it's like, if I could reunite my parent unit, who is different and changed and wrong, with the piece of them that I carry now, then there could be a communion and a reemergence of that person. This is Pinocchio going into the whale on the quest to find Geppetto. It's the reunion of the child with the parent that brings the parent up from the depths of the despair that has been crushing them. And so we've set that metaphor up really perfectly here. And also given Rico a freaking relic weapon thing that might be able to protect her sometimes, which is everything that I wanted. So very exciting. And then a bunch of lore dump, which we don't get to know the actual details of, but our characters do. So it's sort of like when your DM is like, all right, your character knows all the stuff about this. I will tell you about it if you ask directly about individual things. We're just not going to spend an hour talking about all the lore of the world. So, cool. There are a couple things that we know, but some of them, I guess we sort of knew this. You can activate a certain class of relics, which indicates that there might be a ton of relics out there that just need a whistle tone, and then maybe they would activate, and that's pretty cool sounding to me. And maybe there are other whistles that do other things, who knows? But anyway, there's just a ton of cool stuff. And then we get to say our lovely goodbye, and it ends up being really cute. And we bring this music in. And it lands, it smacks, it bangs, it's perfect. And we use it to transition into a final flashback for Ozen as we escape from her clutches and leave her behind here in the abyss. We get to see her last interactions with Liza. Thanks to you, she's monstrously energetic. We introduce the apprentice. And Liza, for the first time, expresses why she's leaving. Both true answers. One, that if she were to stay here, and we get it at the same moment that we reveal her eyes, that we get this emotional reveal from Liza. We really, 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 over the entire course of the show, have not shown Liza's eyes almost at all. Maybe at all. So this first reveal is potent. And where does it come? It comes in the moment that she admits how precious Rico is to her. This is serious. This is a moment where we look into her soul. And she's speaking great truth, and then twists it with what might be a lie. Whatever I offer as payment, it's not enough. All of these priceless things have made her alive now. And if I stay with her, I'm liable to take her freedom away from her in order to protect her. This is a cool attitude for a parent to have, to witness or observe in themselves the growing tendency to overprotect and helicopter and watch everything and confine and restrain and restrict, and instead and see that they will lose themselves in doing that as well, and instead create distance there and allow that freedom for the child to fail. But for Liza, it's also just an excuse. She calls it freedom for her child, but it's also just an excuse for her to go and be herself. So it's complicated, isn't it? How cool. And Ozen sees right through it. Hey. If she stands before you, I'd like you to tell her. Tell her what a miracle it is that she can stand at all. And for the first time in full light, we get this bright-eyed vision of Liza that really echoes Rico. Not a looming shadow or a figure of legend, but a real friend, someone that Ozen knew deeply. And with that thought, and with Ozen's promise fulfilled, though she said she wouldn't, with her promise fulfilled, we leave her behind and head out toward the Great Fault. Let's go! What a lovely episode of Made in Abyss. Really snappy storytelling, really well put together. Woven in an emotional undercurrent with a straightforward A-plot. I really like it. I'm a big fan. This was a good episode. Next time, Descent. Challenge. Glyphs. We'll find out next week on Made in Abyss. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next week for the next episode of Made in Abyss. Much love. Early access on the Patreon. Peace.